Economists claimed that there is a law of demand. When price drops, quantity demand increases. To prove this law, they use utility. When the price of X becomes lower, the budget line becomes flatter, and the optimal consumption point changes from A to B. Point A has higher price and smaller quantity, while B lower price and larger quantity. So a demand curve can be derived from these combinations. In another development, Hicks argued that the lower price is a welfare for the consumer, who should give up some of the gain to compensate others. When his income is reduced to point A, his indifference curve is still higher than the original one. Since the larger quantity is associated with the lower price, this also constitutes a negative relation between price and quantity. Such demand is called compensated demand. When the income effect is totally eliminated, the substitution effect alone can also derive a demand relation, and the slope of the resultant demand curve may be even steeper. Still further, some other economists also claim that marginal utility, which stands for willingness to pay, is also a demand curve. Hence, there are 4 kinds of demand curve for the same product. Which one is correct? Perhaps none. An editor once laughed at my tenaciousness to pursue the truth. He said, "I just assume a negative one. What's wrong can it be?" A wrong example is offered by Walras. In his Element, Walras said, "The buyer of a thing is the seller of that which he gives in exchange," or "The seller of a thing is the buyer of that which he takes in exchange." And he used an equation to simplify this statement. Here, the buyer of A is the seller of B, which he gives in exchange, or the seller of B is the buyer of A, which he takes in exchange. Consider an example. UK buys wine and sells clothes. It gives clothes in exchange, or it sells clothes and buys wine. It takes wine in exchange. Hence, Walras' statement, or this equation, is quite true. However, when he just assumed a negative demand curve and tried to work out from this equation a supply curve, what he obtained is always an upward-looking supply curve.